Hello, and welcome back to the Sunday special episode of the U Up Podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? What's happening? What's going down?
What's going down? It's Sunday.
Sunday. We're
Sunday.
in the throes of fall.
Yes, which means I'm probably being ignored by Mike.
As he watches
hours upon hours of football. It's crazy how it's socially acceptable.
Totally socially acceptable.
I don't even know.
You don't even know? It's like the most important thing of his life.
I think Giants.
He spends hours watching.
Yeah. He doesn't
Maybe we
seem
should
that
go
invested.
to a game. We should, him and I, we go.
You should.
We should go.
Yeah. I would go to the tailgate and then leave.
We should all go. That'd be a fun, yeah, that'd be great.
That would be fun.
Do
I think Giants. I think he
Giants.
likes. I think he likes. Do you like the Jets?
I like. Well, my brother
you like the
works
Patriots.
for the. Well, I like the. I grew up on the Patriots.
Right.
My brother works for the Bears.
Okay.
My brother's fiance reports on the Bears,
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like now the Bears.
Now you're a
really,
Bears family.
I'm a Bears family now.
Okay.
Bear down. So that's become. It's when your family's involved.
Right.
You're just like you live and breathe it in that way.
Is your whole family into sports? Is like your mom into sports?
It was always a part of everything. Because my
Really?
dad, brother, and I, we all liked the same teams. That's what we talked about a lot. So, my mom was a part of it too. But,
Right.
she'd be like, it was just a part of all the, especially New England. I guess the Northeast in general, it's like a part of your whole, social structure.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Oh, the game's on tonight,
Yeah, that would be my fear with having children who are very into sports. Then I'm just like,
That you're on the
to
outside.
find someone to hang out with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's fun to again, like you said,
Yeah.
the tailgate.
Yeah, I would do we should do a tailgate.
Let's do it.
Let's do a tailgate.
We have a sponsor, a betting sponsor.
DraftKings.
We could do something with DraftKings.
That would be great.
I like betting on the games. I do.
The only time I watch is during the Super Bowl when I do the boxes.
I'll teach you how to bet on the games. I think it's a fun thing if you can handle it. Obviously, people get gambling issues, but if you keep it within reason, it's a fun way to spend a Sunday.
Do you have a fantasy draft?
I have a fantasy team. One team.
Mike has 3.
3 is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not down the
That's a
road
problem.
with 3. Yeah, that's a problem. No, I keep pushing this narrative. It's a great way to meet people.
Oh yeah.
Like-minded people. You can see how someone cheers for a game. It's daytime, light.
Just a fun Sunday.
Fun Sunday. And the idea.
And Saturday now. Now it's a Saturday thing.
Well,
too.
it's always
It's
college football Saturday.
It does feel like it's the whole thing.
It's the whole. I honestly, when the football season ends, I get depressed. I'm like, oh my God, what? The hum of a football game in the background is really something that keeps me sane. It is my
Really?
white noise. Yeah.
I feel like there should be a female equivalent.
Bravo.
I guess. Yeah. The hum of Real Housewives in the background does
Right.
make me feel at ease, but it's not live. Or it is live, but you don't need to watch it live.
Right. You just have it on. I don't
Right.
need to be invested in the game to be happy a game is on.
It is funny that just women screaming at each other in the background just makes me feel at peace.
Right. No, I as someone with a mother who screams, I understand.
You also feel
that.
like
yeah,
home?
I do feel at home with that stuff.
Right. That's very funny.
Yeah, I don't know. When football season, we're right on the precipice of it. We're taping before the beginning of NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I don't know. There's something to a good Saturday Sunday hang.
Yeah. And it's fall, so it's just great clothing weather.
Great clothing, cooling down. Even though fall seems to start later and later every year.
That's true. It is 95 degrees today in New York City, so it doesn't quite feel like fall just yet.
No, it is steamy.
Sticky, too.
Steamy, sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fun. But listen, you know what is fun?
Betches night out.
That's right. There's going to be a Betches night out. I'm proud and honored to be the first
male comedian
on the show.
Betches night out. You too can be Betches. If I can go to a football tailgate,
I can do a Betches
you can
night
do a
out.
Betches night out.
I'll be more at home at the Betches night out than I would be at a football game.
It's true. You're not playing.
Yeah. No, this will be a great night. The lineup
is
you
great.
guys really put it together. I had nothing to do with it. You guys. Whenever I see the lineup and I see people I like on there, I'm always warmed by that. You know, I'm like, good. You know the right people.
That is our goal. And it's just, it feels good to have the Betches sensibility, just IRL, somewhere where you can get laughs from people who think like you do.
Yeah, and it's a Wednesday night. It's Chelsea Music Hall. Tippler's nearby. Los Tacos #1 is right by. Like, there's things to do. Soho House. I'll be up
Do
on
you like run
Elysium.
Fromers for West Village?
Yeah, I bet. You can go to Arthur and Son.
Yeah.
You can go to there's a bunch of places down there.
Yeah.
WXOU afterwards. That'd be a fun post. Betches night out.
What is that?
Hang. It's a
WXOU?
radio bar. It's a great
Oh.
bar. We went after. We went to that was the after party of the You Up Live show in New York.
Oh, okay.
It's a cash only bar that just like feels like you're in a happening. It's just like a divey fun spot.
You know if some place is good if they can only take cash.
Right. Well, that's how busy they get. Is that like what I love about it is I come from the cellar and I'm like cash heavy. So in the land of
Then you just start distributing dollars.
just
Yeah.
throwing out 20s,
Writing
like
your
crazy.
autograph on them. Jared Freed Netflix special.
Mr. Netflix.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched that yet,
Speaking of Netflix, no, here's my favor I'm going to ask people. Just send it to someone.
send it to a friend.
Send it to
Everyone
a friend.
who watches it loves it.
That's the thing. I get such amazing feedback. We just got the numbers from Netflix through the roof.
Killing it.
Doing really well. And that's thanks to you people.
Yes. The OKPs.
Okay, Pete. We love a petty or prudent.
Let's do it. All right. I'll read it. Hi, Jane J. I was dating a guy for 4 months, and while dating, I took his friends out to a bar and used his car. Okay. He told me to since my car is a coupe. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Coupe. On the way back
Coupe.
to him, coupe. Like a toupee. It's a coupe.
I drive a coupe.
Like a mini coupe? Okay.
Yeah.
On the way back to his place, I scraped the side of his door trying to park in his apartment complex spot. I immediately texted him telling him what happened and said, I'll pay for the damage. And he said, it's totally fine, not to worry about it. The accident was never brought up again. 2 months later, we break up. 3 months post breakup, I get a message from him via Facebook, which is a photo of an estimate to get the damage fixed. He states either I pay up or he will take me to small claims court. What did she do to this guy?
Right.
Not so long story short, I'm paying for it, but I can't help but wonder why all of a sudden he reached out for it to get fixed when I said I would while we were dating. Sincerely, the worst driving bitch.
So petty or prudent?
He is so petty. This is such a dick move.
Can I give a little bit of feedback?
Let's hear it.
Okay.
She gets the scratch driving him and his friends to a bar. Are you joking?
Well, yeah. Okay, listen. I listen. My note. I think he's petty. I agree.
Okay.
For being like, and here's the bill, small claims court,
Afterwards,
or fucking hurry up. She needs to tell the story differently.
Okay.
Because
what's your version?
Here's where I kind of side with him. And not to say that he's wrong or right.
Let's hear it.
I'm a monster. Let me take the side of a monster. She's like, I said I would pay. It's 3 months after you broke up. Like, you're not on him like, hey, where's the bill so I can pay? Let me settle up with you.
But she offered to pay and he said, don't worry about it.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what she says in the email. She says, I text him immediately and I said, I'll pay for the damage. He said, it's totally fine not to worry about it.
No, then you're right. Totally petty.
Yeah. If he didn't say that, I would say different story.
Right. No, but I thought he was saying, I'll pay. And then the relationship was over 3 months. And she's like, I said I'd pay.
No.
He
offers,
said don't.
He says, don't worry about it. They break up.
No,
then he's
petty
like,
of him.
now pay for it or I'll take you to small claims court. Immediate threat. Like, this guy sucks.
Yeah, this is a dick. There's no defense.
Right?
I missed that one very important line. The most important part of the email I missed.
Who do you think should pay for it? Let's say it's before they break up. They're still together. She scratches the car.
I think he's gonna pay for it.
I think he's gonna pay for it too.
You're
even
partying with your friends.
She's doing you a favor, driving you. That's a risk that you take.
Right.
And is she not coming?
Right. Own the responsibilities. You're responsible for your car.
Yeah. Don't have her drive it if you are not prepared to pay for any damage incurred while she's driving it.
Right. Yeah. I think
she was out running her own errands.
Right. Let me tell you, if she just took it without asking and then got in a car accident and
right. He asked her to drive because her car because he wanted to go to the bar with his friends. I think she was doing him a favor.
Right. No, she did him a favor, and part of the favor is you assume the responsibility of
Yeah.
The car.
Someone
yeah,
driving your car.
No, he's petty. It's right. What did she do to him?
That's what I'm saying.
How
This is such
sideswiped
a-
was he by this? And again, that's like the worst. Like,
Well, I'm
this
just-
woman really fucked up.
I'm
you
just
know,
kind of like, he seems really, to me, to text someone that and to immediately say, you've got to pay it or I'll take you to small claims court means like you were very angry at them.
Right, you're
Because you
upset.
weren't angry about the scratch when it happened. So you're clearly angry, but that not, again, she probably didn't do anything. He's probably just a lunatic. But I'm
Right.
saying, I wonder how the breakup went.
Right. I want. How did it go down? Yeah, he's weaponizing this thing he has over.
Right. I wonder.
And that's as petty as it gets.
Exactly. I wonder in small claims court, I don't think he would win. Because I do think if it's your car.
It's one of those things people say that they sound like tough talk, but they have no idea what it means.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what small claims court is. I know the words,
it's the
but I would
People's
never.
Court, like Judge Judy.
Excuse
You're like,
me.
I don't even know what a small claim is.
Right.
I only know about big claims.
I only deal in big, large claims.
Candace, do you think she would win?
I don't think he was there when the scratch happened.
No.
Like-
She was parking his car.
But that's where it's like,
Well, she's
Could he, like-
texted him admitting to it. Sorry, I
could
didn't
he,
mean to
like-
get into like.
The minutia.
But she said I scratched. He has in the text that.
could
she
he
says
say
did
that
it.
she just like took his car though? Because that's where it's like, can't that be flipped on her? That she just like took his car on his own?
If you're having a discussion like this with someone you're dating, things have gone horribly wrong.
I mean,
like
yeah,
the
that's what
idea
I'm
of
saying.
like, why was she driving his
well,
friends around without
legally-
him there? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's something I feel like we don't know enough. There's something wrong here.
If
Well,
you're listening, let us know what happened.
I'd like to know
I'll
what
follow
happened
up
because
with her. I'll reach out.
Please do, because when you write in a petty or prudent and it's pretty obvious that the other person's petty, I already am wondering what's going on here.
Right.
Like
what happened? What happened in the breakup?
Yeah, this is a pretty open and shut case. If you read the email, it's
petty.
more than I read it. Yeah, it's petty, right? You go, yeah, he's petty. Why does she need to be agreed with? Like everyone,
Because she's paying him. I don't even know if I would pay him.
Oh,
I guess I would just to like get him
rid
out
of
of my
him.
life.
yeah.
But I would
I
always
would pay to get
remember.
rid- I would. I never forget. No,
Yeah.
this is no, but I you have to wonder like what. This must have been heartbreaking for him in some way. Not to say that he deserves to be mean,
Right.
but it was his heart was broken at a minimum.
Yeah, I'm assuming she broke up with him because if you break up with someone and then immediately text them that, then you really are a true monster.
Right. Let's get to an email.
Let's do it.
uup@betches.com. Keep sending them in. Also, we want to do a what's it called? We want to do an SOS. We want to
Yes.
bring people on here live. So if you want to come on with us, talk about your issue, you're going to get asked questions about your issue, but send it in and title your email SOS.
SOS. We'll dial you in. We'll speak to you. You can come on camera or not. And these are really fun because we get to ask you follow-up questions like what happened in your breakup that he did this crazy shit.
Right.
Yeah,
And we want you on camera. That's more fun. So
that's true.
how do I handle family questions after a breakup when they expected an engagement?
I like this question.
J&J, 26 female, got out of a 3-year relationship in early June. It was a shitty breakup that blindsided me, and my ex is already in a new relationship. It's been an awful summer, and it may just be about to get worse.
Fall's around the corner. Sorry.
Well, good thing we got to this after this happened. Every September, we're like... it's going to be okay, kiddo. We're going to help you. Every September, my entire extended family does a big lake trip. My mom is one of 7 kids, so it's big. Obviously, everyone who is married or engaged brings their spouse, but family members are also allowed to bring serious significant others. My siblings and older cousins who brought a boyfriend or a girlfriend ended up getting engaged to them shortly after. One cousin's engagement even happened on the trip. Last summer, I brought my then boyfriend. I did not invite him to the 2 prior years we were together, knowing I only wanted to invite the man I'd marry. My family loved him. I know I drunkenly said to a few aunts that we'd be engaged the next year and how excited I was to marry him. Eey.
I mean, she felt it.
happens.
Yeah.
That obviously didn't happen. So I'm dreading this trip. All the questions and looks of pity I'll get from all my aunts and grandma. On top of that, my cousin, who is a year younger than I am, got engaged and is bringing her fiance, who she has only been with for a year. My family, particularly a few aunts and grandma, is old school in the way that they see marriage as an accomplishment for women. Nobody in the family has ever divorced, and there is no cool single aunt or anything like that that I can bond with.
Okay.
Where's my kooky aunt to help me through this lake trip? If there's no kooky aunt, you're the kooky aunt.
That's you, yeah.
I've thought about faking an illness or injury or finding some way to get out of it, but in some ways, that would be a bummer. Outside of the relationship prioritization, I love the lake, and I haven't missed a trip ever. And I see my family, including parents and siblings, less and less since we're all on separate coasts, but also I have to consider my own mental health. Should I go? If I do, what's a good game plan? What are some fun yet still polite responses to awkward questions? What do I do if I start to spiral? Anything helps. Love, a single bitch.
I like this question.
Great question, relatable. Everyone's kind of we're holiday time is looming.
Yes.
These speeches are being prepared.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just anyone can relate, even if it's not this exact scenario, can relate to a scenario of just not wanting to talk about
Right.
like bringing not great news, not having something to brag about at a
Right.
when you see someone that you haven't seen for a while.
Also, not having an answer. Like,
Right? Why?
she
what
doesn't have
happened?
an answer.
What happened? Right.
There's no answer. There's no like, well, he murdered someone and went to jail.
Mhm.
That would be easier. He fucked my friend would be easier.
Yeah.
You know, then honestly, that's more jarring, but at least it's an answer.
He didn't want to get married.
He didn't want to get married. He's never having kids. He's impotent. I don't know. There's a million different things that would be better than we're not the match.
Yeah.
Because then what parents do and what people who are removed from being single years and years and years do, they go, why? Why? It just keeps asking,
Right.
why?
I don't understand.
I don't get it. He doesn't want to be married? No, he doesn't want to be married to me. And then the more you have to explain it, the worse it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what do you think she should do?
oh, I know exactly what she should do.
Okay, I have a thought. I think it's going to differ from yours. So let's hear
Okay.
yours first.
Hire an actor.
That was what I was going to. No,
Really?
no.
Well, you know, it's to relate a little bit more to
Yeah.
this. This is different, but similar to me.
Uh-huh.
New York Times reviewed the special.
Okay, I knew you were going to relate it back to work, which makes sense for
Right.
men, because that's what you get asked. when
Right.
you're
Well,
home. Yeah.
well, I get. Yeah.
How's the special doing?
How's the special doing? And then also the New York Times, they wrote Jason Fried in the headline. It was Jason Fried has a new special on Netflix.
Your alter ego.
My alter ego, that's me. I'm
Your
Jason
stage name.
Fried. And we called, Michelle here, the PR people here, like, hey, can you guys switch it? Like, is there any way? I didn't care. What I knew was
Picture was of you.
the picture was of me. They reviewed the special kindly.
It was a great
It was
review.
a great review. I just knew that the question, I was pre-aware of what my parents would say. I couldn't send Jason Fried has a Netflix special to my parents.
You needed them to fix it first.
You got to fix it first.
Okay.
Because I knew that I would get, why did you tell them your name was Jason? Like, they would make it me.
Okay.
Why would you do this? In what world? How could they mess this up? Can't you talk to them? Weren't you gonna say something? Make them fix it. And then it would be so zoned in that I would like,
It would ruin it for you.
and it would make me miserable.
Right.
As opposed to the way, when I saw it, I thought it was funny. I actually got it framed.
With Jason
Jason Fried.
That's funny.
And then we got it fixed, and they never asked about it. It was a nothing thing.
Okay.
I knew that I couldn't joke with them about this because it would make me feel worse. So I think there's an element of like, she's fearing, and a lot of
Well,
what
someone
she's
whose
fearing.
opinions you care about.
Right. And you just know they're going to ask a million questions, and it's almost to the point of like, sometimes your family questions are so not meaning to be personal, but they're like almost like the most depressing questions. Like, I'm going to be a comedian. Well, how will you ever retire? Like, only a family member
Right,
asks those
yeah.
like daunting questions. Like, but he didn't love you?
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
You go, I don't know. Did he ever love you? Like, no friend, your friends will ask easy questions.
Right.
Your family somehow
Like
is calloused.
existential questions.
Yes. So and I understand where her insecurities come.
Mm-hmm.
My advice to her is not to hire an actor, but she should talk to her mom, and she needs to go on the trip. You have to get over the hump because people care less about you than you're making them out to be, right? Everything she wrote, I understand it, but it's not what they're thinking. They're not looking at you going, well, young Catherine was with, Bobby for less time than you.
Or even thinking just like poor.
Right.
Poor or whatever. Like no one wants to go and feel like pitied. I think that's her fear too.
But no one thinks of you as much as you think of yourself.
Right.
So like I don't think all these thoughts of like, what will I do? They so and so got married even though they were together less time.
She's projecting how she thinks about it herself right
exactly.
now. Yeah.
So I think she needs to go to her mom and dad and be like, hey, I'm excited to go on this trip. I need you to like let everyone know that I've broken up with the boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just get ahead of it for me? Can you talk to your siblings? Just let them know that like I'm okay and this person's not in my life anymore. And
I don't really want to talk about it.
I'm not looking to talk about it. And if it comes up, I'll be able to talk about it. But can you just like plow the street for me a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would go, Mom, talk to your sisters, let them know, hey, so-and-so, I broke up with the boyfriend. It's over. She's doing well, but she's not really looking to like hash it out. She's still in the grieving process of this relationship, and she's really looking to coming on the trip. But just like
she just wants to have fun.
Just wants to have
be distracted.
Right.
Yeah.
I think if you let the parents get ahead, they have a relationship with their siblings that they can talk to them on a level, as opposed to you bringing it up and also waiting to be hit with this thing. What would you think?
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I think that's a great strategy to sort of like get ahead of it and say that. I also think it might be a good opportunity for you, not the whole time, but if you have a cousin or someone that you're close with, I think it might feel like good to just like talk to them about it, talk about how you're feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes that feels good to just talk through your feelings with someone that you're close with that you can be vulnerable with. Like, hey, broke up with me in June. I'm feeling kind of shitty about it. Like, he's in a relationship and being here. I was a little worried about coming. You just saying like your fear. I think one brings you closer to people that it sounds like she enjoys spending time with and has intimate relationships with. So there's kind of no better person to talk to than people who are in her safe place. They're not like, involved. They're not really involved in this situation at all, but it's a good person. I mean, if she has close relationships with her cousins or her aunts or anyone on the trip, I think it'd be like a nice opportunity to maybe like, at least in the beginning, say what's up, say how you feel about it, and then be like, yeah, let's not. And then after that, you can say, all right, like, let's have fun.
Right. I totally agree with this. Even saying, yeah, I kind of thought we'd be engaged here this year. That's really the depressing part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think anyone's going to hold you to your words from the last lake trip to be like, you said you'd be engaged,
right?
Huh? Like, that's crazy. And she knows that.
Yeah. I can understand why you'd feel like a little embarrassed.
Totally.
But no one's
holding you to those words.
They probably don't even, if it's your grandma, she probably doesn't remember.
Right. That old bitch don't know shit.
Exactly.
I agree with all this. And then, like, if you need a lot, like, I think with your cousins, great time to open up. With maybe an aunt that you're close with, great person to open up with. If your grandmother goes, what happened to Billy? Hey, it just didn't work out. We weren't the match for each other.
Yeah. And then if she asks a follow-up question, you could just say, I'd rather not talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
You think that's
It's tough to with a grandma. What do you mean you'd rather not talk about it? My grandmother would be like all over me.
You could say it makes me feel really sad when I talk about it.
Yeah, it's really sad. I wish the story was different.
Yeah, I would stop asking someone questions if they said that. It makes me sad to talk about it. I would stop asking them.
But we really liked him.
Well, that's like an asshole. If your grandma's an asshole, then that's a different story.
Right. And the more she pushes, it's like
any person who's like normal.
He didn't fuck her, grandma.
Any person who's like a normal, nice, compassionate person, if someone says, it makes me sad to talk about this, I'd rather not. We'll stop talking to you about this.
Right. I just think like you not being with this person is a good thing.
Yeah.
Let's remember that.
I could see why it'd be hard to think that, but I could, yeah.
End game, you are better off today not with him than you would have been with someone who doesn't want to be with you.
Right. Yeah.
And so.
That's why you never take anyone to the lake house.
Yeah. she's going to have a little like PTSD of like this lake house trip comes up next year. And she's got a boyfriend. She'll be like, Can't really. She's not going to be bringing him,
Right.
I don't think, which
Or
I
maybe-
understand.
Yeah. Or maybe she'll say to before the next guy asks why he can't come. She could say, I kind of want to be engaged before I take
Right.
you. It's a big. It's what it means to me. Clearly, it does mean that to her.
Right. That's kind of the part of like getting older and being single too, is like you do less things because you're afraid of what they mean and you're afraid
Right.
of hurting yourself again. And that's the hard part of like taking the risk as you get older and single, because in your 20s you go, yeah, why would this hurt me?
Right.
I'm bringing my boyfriend to the lake, and then you break up and you're like, oh, I'll never do that again.
Right.
Now you're doing less.
Yeah. And the stakes feel really high, even though, again, they're not really. Like,
No.
no one really cares or is thinking about you. But I think she should definitely go. Not going to me
gotta
is
go.
like much more depressing than going.
Not going is stunting your growth as a human being.
And
it's
limit-
actually more serious.
Yeah. And just paying in ways you don't need to for this relationship ending.
Right. What your grandma? Well, why isn't he here? We just broke
Why
up.
are you still here?
Yeah, right.
Is the real question.
Modern medicine can't help me like it helps you in your hip.
Exactly.
Wow. We solved dating again.
We did it, and we will be back on Wednesday with another episode.
Oh, and if you're listening still, I'm in Atlanta this week. Come on out. Atlanta, Georgia. JaredFree.com.
Bye. The You Up podcast is produced by Jorge Morales-Pico, Sean Kilby, and Candice Maniga. Editing by Jorge Morales-Pico and Shannon Sassone. Social media by Candice Maniga. Guest booking by Ali Friedlander. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.